What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Tradesman Essentials. Hope everyone is feeling good today. It's Monday. I'm coming to you live from, possibly one of the worst units I've had vacant in a long time. This place is pretty tore up, but what I have for you real quick is a couple of items that I've found to be pretty useful in the buildings maintenance facilities management field. Now, of course, there are other uses for these tools. You know, they cross the spectrum, but for those of you in the maintenance field, the MRO guys out there, check out the Craftsman 4-volt gyroscopic screwdriver. You may have seen it before. It's model number CMC F604. You see that she's spinning at 180 RPMs. Now, the special thing about this guy is in this down position, there's a switch right here. In that down position, it's just a manual screwdriver. Try to do this one-handed, so bear with me. But you flip that switch up, activates. One of this tool's best aspects is those LED lights, but they're activated now. And as you can see, there's a raised button. You just hold that guy down. I don't know if you can hear it humming, but it's activated when you hold that down. And you have a couple of directional arrows on the rubber overmold. All you gotta do is hold the button down and spin it in the direction you want her to turn. Which, you know, not a bad idea. Especially if you're doing electrical work. Bear with me, trying to do this one-handed. This one's got paint all over it. But there you go. It's not gonna wow you. I mean, if you know what I mean, you're not gonna wanna do any heavy-duty fastening with this. At 180 RPMs, you know, electrical work, maybe door handles, you know, low-profile stuff. And this is perfect for that. It'll replace anything you're using a manual screwdriver for. It won't replace your Tech-Po by any means. I've come to love that drill, guys. Call me crazy. But, yeah, all you have to do is press down on your button and she's spinning. You can see these are quick wired. At least that switch leg is. I mean, it does this pretty well. There's really no problem releasing these terminal screws, ground screw, except that they're flathead. And some of them are covered with paint. But it does that eloquently, pretty smooth. Excuse me. Without too many issues. Alright, you can see we've swapped out that slotted flat blade bit for a Robbie bit. We're gonna go ahead and snug these terminal screws down, and it does the job. Might save your wrist a little stress if you're doing this kind of work constantly. I know I am. And that's where I find these type of drills to be a little bit more effective than, you know, like a 12 volt or 18 volt or, you know, something like that. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so bear with me. And one more. And there we go. Everything's nice and snug. You know, and I've found that screwdriver, the Craftsman, to be, you know, perfect for this application. We've hung some light fixtures with it. We've done a bunch of switches. Do you need this in your tool bag? I'm not going to go that far. Will it replace hand tools? You can see the battery gauge too. Will it replace any hand tools? I doubt it. You know, it's kind of big, it's bulky. You know, it doesn't really, it's not compact, it's not lightweight for a screwdriver. The hex acceptor, the collet, whatever you want to call it, it's magnetic, but not the strongest. They could have maybe designed that a little bit better. Maybe put a chuck on there or made it, you know, click into place. And that's, you know, that's one thing I don't like. Doing work like this, sometimes the bit will get stuck in there. You have to plop it out. Not a big deal, not a game changer, but definitely something they could have designed better. But I like it. You know, I've been using it for about a week now, and I don't really have any complaints other than that, you know, for what I'm using it for. It's not a bad driver. It has its place in your tool bag. It'll, you know, fit into a pocket. You can throw it into your back pocket or whatever. You know, it is a little bit heavy, but for a quick job, you know, I think I'll use it more doing like wall plates, switch plates, stuff like that. Just pop in a flat blade, zip those in. I think that'll be perfect. I think electrical work is, you know, where this thing really shines. RC cars, I know there's a big market for screwdrivers in that aspect, and should you guys be into that, this thing might be, you know, choice, as you can control how much torque you're putting on something just by how you turn your wrist. So, you know, it's a good option. As I was saying before, for you maintenance guys out there, apartment maintenance techs, facilities techs, check it out. Instead of, you know, I've seen a lot in the past, people carrying drills to install outlets, and sometimes it's overkill, you know, but it does get the job done quicker. Something like this, it'll help out. And the torque is a little bit more controlled. So yeah, $25 at Lowe's, the Craftsman, 4-volt max, made in China. Check it out, guys. I recommend it. Now, we also have the Skil 4-volt lithium rechargeable screwdriver, model SD561201. I don't see the RPMs. Well, it's basically the same idea as that Craftsman I was just showing you, only to activate this one, you turn that in the direction you want to go in. And unlike the Craftsman, this one has the 1/4 inch hex collet. It's got LEDs. I think the Craftsman's are brighter. It also has a voltage detector, which the power's off in here, but if you were to hold that up to the outlet, it would beep and show the red light. Let's see if I can just demonstrate that really quick. Get all the power back on. And I like this chuck style better than the Craftsman. It's just pop your bit in. This one actually locks your bit into place. Yeah, it's hard to do one-handed. But if you can see it spin, and that might be a more natural way of doing that. The Craftsman, you hold down here and you turn it yourself. This one, I almost feel that it's more natural, but that could just be me. But as far as the voltage detector, now the power should be back on here. Of course it's not working. Hang on. We're live. Whoops, wrong button, guys. Sorry. We're not showing any power at this one. I mean, I wouldn't trust this as your everyday voltage detector. They make tools just for that. It's not working. That's awesome. But, you know, like I said, they have tools for that specific use. Where'd my bit go? I'm trying to show you one-handed. There it goes. It's snug down that ground. I don't think it's as powerful as the Craftsman. Takes the USB charger just like the Craftsman. I mean, this one has its upsides and its downsides. I think the chuck is the plus on this guy. I really do. Gonna get our hot side snug down. Nice and tight. Everything's connected. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Beautiful. It's not gonna wow you with power. It's just gonna do exactly what it's meant to do, and that's just drive screws. It's not gonna I don't think you're gonna drive into wood with this without a pilot. But for this kind of work, it's not a bad option. I don't know, it's a toss-up. This one doesn't have the battery gauge, so we don't know how much charge is left on it. As you saw, that voltage detector wasn't being very accurate. But it, you know, it did everything it needed to. So, I don't know. They both have their ups and downs. I think the chuck on this, like I said, I think that is the difference maker. My bit is securely locked into place, whereas the Craftsman just sits in there. But to each their own. I think they're both pretty, they have their place. They're pretty valuable to keep in your tool bag at least. Just, you know, it'll save your wrist a little bit. I like the action on this one too. A little better. It feels more normal to me, more natural. I don't know, but those are a couple of 4-volt screwdrivers. The Skil and the Craftsman. Made in China. Probably at the same factory. Red and black. Cool, guys. Well, enjoy your weekends. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.